everybody. Welcome to a one-on-one session with our thought leader, Ms. Riya Nair by Seekho. Seekho is the first micro-learning based community wherein you can learn everything under 1 minute. Since the attention span of everybody around us today is very short these days, Seekho has been devised on similar lines to solve that problem. In short, it's a place where knowledge meets its seekers. Talking about our guest for today, Ms. Riya Nair. She is an enterprise customer advisor at Amazon, and she's previously worked with Michael Page and GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals. She has a decorated and diverse profile, and it's a matter of great pleasure to have you amidst us today, Riya, and looking forward to have a great chat with you. So we can start off having your introduction, and we would like to know about you. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Khushi, firstly, for inviting me. And secondly, for that introduction part, I think I felt wonderful about myself when you spoke like that. I think, firstly, the tag of a thought leader, my aim from this conversation would be that I do not have too many successes, honestly, to harp about. But what I would love people to learn from is that I've made ample mistakes so far. And I can tell you from my own personal experience what probably not to do or how to avoid those, and especially at the start of your career during the early stages. So that's why I'm here, to share that experience.
Without failures, we can't even have success. So that'll be great. All right. So we now have the rapid fire rounds. I'll shoot 5 questions. Take about 5 seconds to think about each one of them, and then you can answer. So are you ready?
Sure. Absolutely.
All the best. So the first one is the lesson you learned and would love to pass on to others from Vedic literature would be.
Okay, so the wise men hold a lot in silence. They keep a lot in their mind, whereas fools are the ones who always have everything on the tongue.
Empty vessels make a lot of noise. So yeah, I agree.
Yes, goes a long way when you're in the corporate world too.
All right. Which dance form would you insist others should learn?
Freestyle. Honestly, drink and dance as much as you can. That's the best form you'll enjoy the most.
Great. You're doing good. Name that one dish which can make you a master chef.
Omelette. I think all throughout my years in hostel, I've mastered that.
The only thing I need to make and I know how to make in the kitchen is egg, so I can relate. Which job profile so far made you learn the most?
Michael Page, because I was into recruitment consulting and my job was all around people, and I've spoken to more than 1,000 people in the last 2 years with them. So yes, learned the maximum from there.
Great. Okay, the 5th question and last one. One lesson you learned in life and you would like to share with others?
Always prepare. Okay, never get overconfident. I've realized that every time I slipped somewhere in life was when I was too overconfident. Maybe because of some past success that I probably this much I will be able to attain, or this much I will be able to do even without any preparation. Don't do that. You'll set yourself up for failure. So that's the only advice.
Amazing, great job. You were spot on and your answers were quick and also quirky. So now proceeding further and hopping to the Q&A round. The first question for you is some quick tips for making into the IIMs. Because you were an IP Math student at IIM Indore, so yeah.
Sure, I can share. In fact, 2 tips with you, to be honest. I gave my exam way back in 2013. That's when I gave it straight after my class 12. 2 things I learned by cracking for the exam is 1, logic. Okay, keep it simple. IIMs, especially CAT, any sort of an exam that you give for MBA is centered around logic. Don't overcomplicate things. Get your fundamentals right. Start with basic class 10 textbooks and make sure that all the chapters which are there in it, especially for mathematics, you're thorough with that. Second is speed. Do a lot of mental math. Instead of writing down, once you start solving questions, try to do at least the basic multiplications in your mind. Because the people who eventually make the cut are the ones who can solve questions, not just right, but before the rest of the people doing it. And I think on the verbal side, it would be read. Just read anything. Read fiction, read non-fiction, read a newspaper, but develop a habit of reading.
All right, so I'll be appearing for GRE this year, and I think these tips will be generic for those as well. So I keep that in mind. Thank you so much. The second question is, what are some tips to prepare your resume which will help you get shortlisted as a consultant?
As a consultant, okay, firstly, I feel on your work experience side, keep your resume concise. Try to keep it a one-pager, maximum a two-pager, because beyond that, people don't have the attention span. Think of it from the recruiter's point of view. They will probably only spend 30 seconds looking at your CV. So if possible, try to have a top bar. Before you start writing down your work experience, your most important and significant points that stand out about your profile should be there on the top bar somewhere. Okay, like your college you graduated from, what the companies you worked for in the past, and so on, if any awards you won. Post that, keep your work description very concise. Recruiters spend almost 10 seconds just reading through it. Keep it simple, don't use a lot of jargon. If the recruiter doesn't understand, they will pass off your resume. So these are a couple of tips, and I think they are applicable anywhere. That keep your resume simple, concise, and brief.
Okay, so suppose that I want to enter the world of consulting. So what can I experience and expect in my career?
Honestly, when you give consulting interviews, you will realize, in fact, get a very good flavor of what your life will be post that. Like for management consulting interviews, I've given one and cracked it also. They'll give you a real life case problem. It's a one-liner case. The company is not making profits. What will you do about it? Subsequent to that, you keep on digging further. And the life of a management consultant is pretty much like that. The companies will approach you with a one-liner problem statement. You have to dig deep, make assumptions, and find out what the real issue is. So it's a lot just around dealing with ambiguity. You will never have all the information firsthand. You have to make assumptions. So learn to be comfortable around that, about lack of information, and then still coming at a conclusion.
I think the consulting profile demands you to, think on your toes and be agile and curious. So you have to ask as many questions as you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are some roles and responsibilities of a marketing manager?
Honestly, I was in a trade marketing profile, so I can talk to you from that perspective. And there's a distinction between trade marketing and brand marketers. Traditionally, brand marketers are the ones who would see your ATL part. You understand about the line, right? Your TV advertisements, so the spends which are made around social media and so on. A trade marketing manager looks at the trade channel only. They look at what sort of marketing activities can we do at the point of sale. For example, when you visit a retail store, what kind of a dangler would you find there? What kind of product schemes should be there? How much percentage discount should be there? So that's the job of a trade marketing manager. And very interesting. How do you want me to describe it? Maybe you could hint a little bit.
No, I think that suffices. And I think it sounds very fascinating. So we'll look into it furthermore. What is the role of a leadership hiring manager or a consultant? Since you've worked in that profile, I suppose. Yeah.
That's the most interesting one. Because when it comes to leadership positions, many a times even the companies don't have an idea exactly what they are looking for. They want someone who is as good as like Salman Khan for Bollywood, who can just come and turn around things for them. But how is he going to do that? They don't know. So as a leadership hiring consultant, you play a bridge role. First is that you have to talk to the company and understand exactly what kind of a person are they looking for, both from a skill set point of view as well as from the culture point of view. Then you go back and you figure out that, okay, from a skill set point of view, say where can you find these people? Where would they are likely to be working? Would they be working in exact competitor firms, or do you need to look at another industry altogether? Right? For example, when COVID happened, people started looking for e-commerce managers. You will not find them in traditional industries like FMCG and pharma. You have to find somebody from Amazon or Flipkart. who understands e-commerce, right? And subsequent to that, you have to convince the person to leave their existing job and come and join a new one. So that's what a leadership hiring consultant does.
I wasn't aware about this vertical under consulting, so I mean, it's good to know about the same. What were some of the challenges that you faced as a HR consultant?
That you're dealing with people, and people are anything but rational or predictable. It's easier to deal with machines and codes because at least you know that they run on a certain logic. When you are dealing with people, firstly, you don't know whether the other person is saying the absolute truth or not. You have to rely on whatever they are saying. Second is they are not rational. People make switches or don't make job switches for n number of reasons. And third, there's always a factor of unpredictability. So you have to get very comfortable with that, especially with assessing the seriousness of a person, assessing whether they will be a good culture fit, assessing how sincere they are, and whether they will stick around to the new opportunity. So those are the softer aspects of a leadership consultant.
Amazing. You talked about solving cases, right? For case interviews to crack them. So some resources that you would suggest to practice these cases from?
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of case books. There's Case on Point is, of course, a very popular book. There have been a couple of websites. I remember browsing through some of them. You just have to Google search. And then there are enough videos on YouTube where you see examples. These are half-an-hour interviews, mock interviews that people have posted, in which, say, a consultant from McKinsey's side is questioning the other person, and they show how you can answer those questions perfectly. So do watch them and then practice those cases by yourself and do a variety.
This helps a lot. Even I had skimmed through two websites, Management Consulted and Prep Lounge. I've heard a lot about them, so I think they'll help. All right. So, what is the best career advice that you have received till date and would like to share with others?
To be honest, I didn't receive any career advice, and probably that is why I ended up making so many errors initially. But what I would suggest as an advice is ask questions and don't ever hesitate to do so. Because the moment you join a company post-college, no professor is going to come and teach you what to do or even tell you how to do it. It's your job from day one. You have to go figure out what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. So if you don't ask questions, nobody will come and answer those for you. So I think that would be my first advice to somebody who's joining a new company from straight out of college. Reach out to people by yourself. Don't waste time.
All right, great. What are some key tips that you would give to somebody who wants to land up in the HR consultancy space, or what are the required skill set to be a good or successful HR consultant?
I think first is be very comfortable while talking to people. If you are an absolute introvert or a nerd or not comfortable in talking to strangers easily or opening up to them, I would say avoid at least going into talent acquisition, since your job is dealing with people. So first is get comfortable with that. Second, I would say learn to pick up on softer aspects of somebody. For example, now just by talking to someone on phone, I can understand how honest they are being about whatever they're saying. And that comes from experience. So you have to learn to pick up those signals with people. Learn how to make somebody open up to you. So HR, especially leadership, consulting, talent acquisition, it's all a people's game. You have to learn, probably read about human psychology to understand what motivates people and why they do something.
And if you have to mention some skills that people should pick up, to be successful in this space?
In talent acquisition or in leadership? Okay, on this side. Honestly, nothing technical. Just talk to people. I would say on this side, there is no real matrix. You don't need to know Excel. You don't need to know PowerPoint. You don't even need to know any softwares. What you should do and practice a lot is talking to strangers. Like for the first time, if you pick up a call, can you freely talk to someone? Can you make them open up to you in a span of 10-15 minutes? That's a skill you need to have.
Surely that is one, and I think that also helps a lot in your life in general. Knowing about people, their psychology, how they think, it makes everything easier, to deal with. So it was insightful, everything that you shared with us, all the answers, and that was it from my side. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining us and sparing your time today.
Yes, thank you, Khushi. I think this was a wonderful experience, and honestly spoke from my heart. I hope these answers do help somebody, even if a single person, I'll be more than happy. And thank you for the wonderful experience.
I think candid answers help the most. So it was just amazing talking to you. Thank you.
Sure.